Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Order of the Buffalo Hunt ceremony for Constable Moshe Linov and the Neelin High School first responders. My name is Jeff Fawcett, the Mayor of the City of Brandon, and it's my absolute pleasure to be a Master of Ceremonies for this afternoon's event. We acknowledge we're gathered on Treaty 2 territory and that Brandon is on a shared territory between the Dakota Oyate, the Anishinaabe, the national homeland of the Red River Métis, and today many other Indigenous people call Brandon their home, including the Inuit, Anishinaabe, Denisovan, and Inuit. We are joined today by the Honorable Wabkanu, Premier of Manitoba, Brandon Police Chief Tyler Bates, Deputy Chief Greg Hebert, Inspector Dupuis, Inspector McCollum, fellow City Councillors, School Board Trustees, Police Board, Mr. Matthew Gustafson. I really want to see him. I do. Brandon School Division Superintendent, Baz Nundu, Principal, École Secondaire Neelin High School, Constable Moshe Linov, and Nonso as well, the young man that was injured in this incident along with 4 of his family members. And okay, established in 1957, Manitoba's Order of the Buffalo Hunt was originally conferred on people who, though not necessarily residing in Manitoba, were known to be kindly disposed towards Manitoba. The order is accompanied by a certificate of membership, signed by the Premier, and sealed with the Great Seal of Manitoba. The first recipient was Queen Elizabeth II. The subsequent members include Mother Teresa, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and many other accomplished individuals and organizations. After the Order of Manitoba Act, given royal assent in 1999, the Order of the Buffalo Hunt was reconfigured to honor organizations, sporting teams, and community groups, with the most recent recipient being the first responders at the Carberry bus crash tragedy. Today, Constable Moshe Linov and the Neelin High School first responders will join this very select group, who have demonstrated outstanding skills in the areas of leadership, service, and community commitment to the people of Manitoba. And with that, I'd like to call upon the Premier of Manitoba to come forward to present the Order of the Buffalo Hunt to Constable Moshe Linov on behalf of the first responders. Premier, I am going to present this to you. And Moshe, I'm going to miss you, and you're getting it along.
Do you want to join us? Is that okay with you? Yeah? Why don't you go in the middle? Make a bit of room for you behind. Oh, John would like a photo. Well, would you mind staying up here for a second so I can say some nice things about you?
Yeah?
Yeah? And also too? Yeah, and Chinotso, if you could stay here too, please. There's a lot to say. So first of all, thanks so much to everybody for making time for this here today. Out of a terrible tragedy comes an opportunity to highlight and salute some of the heroes who walk among us, including Moshe Linov, Constable, who is here with us and is a true Manitoba hero.
Thank you, sir.
And we have Chinonso Onuke, who is the person who has persevered and is on a road towards strength and healing, and in that resilience is also a Manitoba hero. This was a terrible thing that took place at Neelin High School, and yet in that awful moment, we saw the best of humanity. We saw Constable Linov step forward, answer the call of duty, help to ensure that Chinonso's life would be saved, save the lives of others, and ensured that the justice system would have the chance to hold the alleged to account. And so when we think about what first responders do, when we think about what law enforcement does, this is the perfect example of serving and protecting our community. And on a day-to-day level, we probably don't say thank you enough. So when these high-profile incidents take place, it's our responsibility as Canadians and as Manitobans to make sure that we say miigwech, merci, thank you, and that we do everything we can to lift up our first responders and law enforcement for the important heroism that they do each and every day. Thank you.
Thank you.
So if you'll bear with me for a few more minutes, I do want to acknowledge a few other things. We're gathered here at a time where some of our fellow Canadians are in harm's way. There are actually 3 Canadians who are trapped underground as we speak at a mine in British Columbia. And I'd like all of us to keep them in our hearts and our minds right now. We hope to have more information about that later today. I did speak to Premier Eby in addition to at the Premier's meeting earlier this week. I spoke to him earlier today and of course offered Manitoba's support in any way that we can help. And I guess the latest update is that they do believe these men to be alive and they're working hard to recover them and bring them back to the surface. I also want to acknowledge our firefighters who had a heck of a night last night in Leaf Rapids and at the Lawler Mine near Snow Lake in particular. So yesterday evening in Leaf Rapids, the fire was much more aggressive and hot to the extent that it created its own weather in the immediate area, if you can imagine that. And the good folks from the Manitoba Wildfire Service, those under the command of the Office of the Fire Commissioner, they fought the fire through the night and are still there as we speak, fighting fire in Leaf Rapids. We'll have more information to share in terms of some of the impacts on the community of Leaf Rapids, but for now, given the fact that we're honoring Constable Linov and we're honoring law enforcement, the Brandon Police Service, the Brandon First Responders, I also wanted to take this moment to honor the firefighters who are on the front lines of this terrible wildfire season right now. So let's keep them in our hearts and minds as well too. So returning to the events here in Brandon, which have gathered each of us here today, what took place was senseless. And it was also a racially motivated attack. And that's what's alleged to be the case anyways. I guess I should be very careful with language. But I want to say this, as the leader of the province of Manitoba, hatred and racism has no place in our province. And that's not who we are as Manitobans. The Manitoba that we're all proud of is the Manitoba that you see when you go to the hockey rink. And it doesn't matter which community you come from, which walk of life you hail from, the only thing that matters is how you play when you lace up your skates. That's who we are as a province. And the same thing should be true in all of our schools, in all of our workplaces, and in all of our communities. So I'm extending that warm and hearty handshake today to all of us as fellow Manitobans, and to say let's work together to ensure that equality and fairness and safety prevails across our great province. So, on that occasion, we saw Constable Linov respond on June 9th, again running towards danger, putting himself in harm's way. And this is something that I imagine he did because that's what he does, you know? It's not that there was a decision or even thinking about what the future impacts are going to be. It's just when the call of duty comes, you respond. And that is something that exemplifies the best of us in the province of Manitoba. At the same time, I know that what this attack uncovered was very painful for the family. It's a beautiful family, I should say. We had a chance to spend some time together. We shared many words, we visited, and I saw very caring parents. I saw, and this might surprise the parents of teenagers in the room, but I actually saw a very caring brother who was doting on his brother. And, I'm kind of teasing some of the teens in the room a little bit there, but it was a wonderful, wonderful family. We even prayed together. We shared a bit of, refreshments, and it was a very nice experience. But I know there was questions being asked about, what did it say about this attack? What did it say about us as a province? And I know that some of those questions were being asked in the Nigerian community as well. And so hopefully the way that Brandon has responded, the Westman region has responded, the Manitoba province has responded, sends that message that this is your province, this is your community, and you are absolutely valued and loved and supported right here at home, your home. And so we can talk about who we are as Manitobans and Canadians during the good times, but it's often during the times of crisis that it really reveals who you are. And that's why we took the decision to honor Constable Linov and the first responders with the Order of the Buffalo Hunt. Because when that crisis came, they showed our true colors, and they were beautiful, they were strong, they were heroic. So on behalf of the province of Manitoba, I'm deeply humbled and honored to present you with the Order of the Buffalo Hunt. You heard the mayor say you're up there with the Queen now. Well, that's pretty high company, pretty amazing company, but it is certainly well earned. We thank you for your service to our province, to our country, to the community, and to the students, and we wish you all the success in the future. Miigwech, merci, thank you very much.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here today. A very special thank you to Premier Bob Canoe for joining us today to honor our officers. Thank you for your compassion for the family impacted, for your ongoing support of police. I can't tell you how meaningful it is when you're involved in this work for there to be that recognition for what's a very difficult job with traumatic exposures and challenges that come with that. So a real hearty welcome and thank you from Brandon Police Service for your attendance here today and for this recognition. We'd also like to take a moment to recognize someone whose strength and whose courage has been, quite frankly, inspirational, not just to Brandon Police Service members, but to members of this community. Please join me in acknowledging Nonzo and his family. I know that there was a clap there earlier, but I just want to reinforce just how inspired we are in terms of your resilience, in terms of you facing danger and looking at it in the face and not being deterred to take steps and actions that were really meaningful and prevented significant harm that day. So thank you, and please join me in acknowledging their presence here today. An unimaginable experience, and we're truly honored by your presence here today. Your strength, your love, your support, they embody the very spirit of unity and healing that this ceremony stands for. And this is your community, this is your home, and I just want to reinforce that powerful message that Premier Canoe brought to this gathering here today. We're not just here to recognize bravery, but to recognize as well what it means to serve, to protect, and to love a community enough to stand between it and harm. On June 9th, something unthinkable happened at Neelin High School. A young student, seriously injured, and our hearts remains with Nonzo and his family as they walk through this long road of healing. We are with them, not just in word, but in action, every single day as we continue to oppose hate and crime in the city of Brandon. That day where fear entered a place that should be sacred, our schools, Fortunately, just as quickly, so did courage. Constable Moshe Linov and the responding officers of Brandon Police Service were on the scene within minutes. You all faced danger head-on. You didn't flinch, you didn't hesitate. You acted quickly, calmly, and with deep care. It's because of you that lives were protected and further tragedy was prevented. The special recognition for Moshe Linov here today speaks to his foundation of relationships within the community. Moshe's brave response that day is a testament to the trust that he's built with students and staff and the investment that he's made directly into their lives. Every hallway conversation that Moshe had, every volleyball game that he coached, every safety planning meeting that he's had with staff prepared Neelin for this day. When protection was needed, because of that trust, it was you they called, and I want to thank you for answering the call and shielding staff and students from further harm. To say our officer was heroic in this instance is an understatement. You didn't just secure a scene, you gave an entire community a reason to exhale, to feel safe again, to begin to heal, to work together towards racial harmony in this community. We extend our sincere appreciation to the staff at Neelin High School. Your rapid activation of lockdown procedures, your unwavering dedication to student safety were instrumental in protecting those young students' lives and the lives of fellow staff, just as instrumental as the action of the responding Brandon Police Service members. So thank you for that leadership and for that action. This incident shook our city, but it did not break us. In fact, it reminded us of who we are. Brandon is resolved, it's strong, it's unified, it's full of heart and care and compassion. And when tested, we don't turn away, we step forward together. I want to end with the words that speak to the very spirit of what we saw that day and what we see every day from our officers, from our educators, from our community. In the face of fear and hate, love is still the most powerful force. And every act of courage, every choice to protect is love in action. In the words of Martin Luther King Jr., hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. And so we have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. Constable Linov, to you and your fellow officers, you are the embodiment of that love in action. Today, we don't just thank you, we honor you. Congratulations on your award today, and thank you.
Thank you. And somewhere amongst this, I'm going to continue Tyler's speech. I am going to call upon Baz Nundu, the principal at Neelin High School, to bring greetings.
I'm just used to doing speeches at grad, not places like this, so... OK, bon après-midi à tous. Good afternoon, everybody. Monsieur le Premier ministre, bienvenue à Brandon. Mr. Premier, welcome to Brandon. Monsieur le maire, merci pour cette opportunité. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for this opportunity. Et la famille Onouké, aussi bien sûr, merci d'être parmi nous aujourd'hui. Thank you for the Onouké family for being with us here today. So, generally, I'm not great at remembering dates. If you ask me my kids' birthdays, I don't know, okay? However, I think this particular date in June is a date that's going to stay with me for a long time. So, I just had two things that jump up to me first every time I think of that day. And they're actually things that I'm very grateful about. So the first one, it's actually the response from my office staff. Some of the teachers in the office who were able to tend to Nonzo's wounds and do things that they had no training of, right? So I'm really, really grateful for them, and especially everybody in the building and our students also for the way they executed the lockdown. That was really, really well done. And actually, some of those staff are here, so I just want to give you guys a really... Stop. I said I'm not going to get emotional. Don't. The second part that always comes to mind is the quick and swift response from BPS, and just the way they conducted themselves, the way we were able to work together, staff at Neelin and BPS. So I'm really, really grateful for the way you guys have conducted things on your end of things. Moshe and I, Constable Linov, we've been working together the last 4 years that I've been at Neelin, and I've always appreciated time with him at school. So it's not only just the bad times when he comes to the school, okay? He also comes down just to chat and see how things are going. So it's always been a really, really good relationship between us, the school, and Constable Linov. I've always appreciated his response. Every time I would call him or send him a text, right? He'd respond right away, or yes, I can be there in 2 minutes, and so on. So that just shows how invested he's been and he is to the BSD, and I'll speak for myself, Neelin, in general. So for that, Constable Linov, I just want to congratulate you on this award. And I also want to congratulate BPS also in general, and first responders who were on the scene that day. This is all for you guys and the work you did on that day. So I guess as we move forward, I think one of the things, my first year at Neelin, one of the things that one of our school goals that we were working on, I don't know how effective it was, but one of the things that we always kept talking about was resilience, right? Just how do we teach our students to be resilient in any shape of life. So we will continue with that. And another big thing that really stood out from Neelin was the community. Within the resilience, a lot of people could have stayed away from Neelin because now it's a scary place and whatnot, but it was a complete opposite. The community was there the very next day in the morning. We had a lot of people from the community coming in, drawing on the sidewalks in front of the school. So that just shows the love that people in Brandon have for each other, and the support that we have for each other. And for us as a school at Neelin, we will continue with that. We'll continue to be supportive of each other. We'll continue to be resilient, and we will find a way to go through this. Not forget it, but we will find a way to get through it. So, I was only given a couple minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up. Alors, pour terminer, une fois de plus, Monsieur le Premier ministre, Monsieur le maire, merci pour cette opportunité. Mr. Premier, Mr. Mayor, thank you for this opportunity. Et merci à vous tous. Thank you, everybody, for coming here. And again, thank you so much for my staff for being here. And congratulations again. Félicitations, Constable Linov.
Thank you, Baz. I also want to recognize that Minister Simard is here, because I'm going to ask him what Baz said in French after this. I'm supposed to just wrap up, but I do want to make a quick comment. Sorry, Premier, you hate it if I do this kind of thing. But I do want to recognize everything that went on there, and our team and our police force. But I also want to make sure that we do recognize that Nonso, we never want a person in that situation again. But the fact that he was in that situation, and he did save people's lives. That wasn't his goal, it wasn't his tent, but he stood there and he saved lives. You know, and then the big lesson I think as a community we took was horrible things happened. But when Whooshie and his team, their child had been attacked, and the grace that he showed, and the grace that the family showed, in a world that has rage as their first reaction, or victimhood, they showed grace, and I hope we learn from that. I hope we recognize that. I know that the things that they do in the community, I hope we can continue to support what they do in the community, but I hope if we learn one really good lesson, it is to be able to show grace. And Nonso, you have a wonderful family, and we're grateful that you're here, and I look forward to track. You're going to be there, right? That's the plan. So, but with that, please rise for the singing of the national anthem. Please cut this mic. Okay, apparently.